The marketing mix contains four P's, and the P for place really means distribution. So what is distribution? A set of interdependent organizations involved in the process of making a product or service available for use or consumption by the consumer or business users. The idea is that there are intermediaries, and these intermediaries are necessary. Distribution is a business in itself, but it's a specialty. And so this specialty has a cost. And so you want to make sure that this cost is not you, but is spending it, but it's someone else spending it because they may be more effective in spending this money. So this specialty is better off left to someone who is a pro distributor. However, some companies are doing everything. They are doing the manufacturing and the distribution because they are controlling this cost. The functions of the distribution is to collect information and provide information to the market, to promote the product that they're selling as a distributor, to create contacts and customers within the market, to offer these customers a product that is adequate and suitable, so this is called matching, to negotiate prices and volumes with the customers, to help with the logistics, to help the customer eventually from buying from the distributor will get some financing and some risk taking and taking inventory, and eventually having the distributor carry the weight for the manufacturer of this inventory. There are different channels of distribution. There's the one that can be done by the manufacturer, where you have the manufacturer selling directly to the channel, which is called direct channel distribution. This one is effective because you get the customers to buy straight from the manufacturer. The problem is, how do the customers know about the manufacturer? Maybe they know and maybe they can buy directly, but most of the time people would not know about the product, and therefore they would need to buy it from the distributors or the retailer to some extent. And so that's the job of this intermediary. So you could have multiple different intermediaries between manufacturer and the consumers. And so the best method is not to say that the more intermediaries, the better, is you need to have the right suitable amount of intermediaries. So sometimes it's better to have less, and sometimes it's better to have more, because each intermediary provides a quality of support. Maybe, and I'm thinking about the luxury industry. In the luxury industry, you have many intermediaries in between because it's very specific to get to the customers. And so you have all of these intermediaries giving quality to the product, getting to the ends of the final consumers. But if your product is a commodity, then you would want to have the least intermediaries as possible. So the sub-strategies of the P of place, there is essentially just a few, something like 5, and these are the 3 out of the 5, which is intensive distribution, you sell it everywhere. Selective distribution, you sell it in half of the places, 50% of the market. And exclusive distribution, you sell it in 1%, 5%. I mean, it's exclusive, so it has to be a low number. You can't find it everywhere, and there's a very strict contract being made between the manufacturer and the final retailer, because there's territories, and these territories are exclusive to who's distributing the product. The 2 other sub-strategies of the P of place are push and pull. Push strategy is when you are, as a manufacturer, incentivizing the distribution channel to carry your product. So you give discounts or volume discount, monetary discount or volume discount to the intermediaries for them to carry more of the product. So the distributors is trying to sell bread, and your bread is 50% the price than anyone else. So they're going to carry your bread because for them, it's an opportunity to make a higher profit. So they will support you because of the deals that you give it to them. That's push strategy. Pull strategy is when you are selling to the consumers direct, and the consumers are getting an incentive, which is usually the fact that they are becoming knowledgeable about your products, and they're more familiar with your product, that they would want to buy this one. So they buy what they know. So this one is more of a direct communication to the customers, for the customers to be seeking your product. Obviously, this one is very expensive. If you use traditional media, it's expensive. If you use social media, it used to be inexpensive, it's becoming more and more expensive in order to go above the noise of all the people doing social media to be seen. So the best method is to use both. but both require more resources. So what you see most often with the smaller businesses is that they have a social media type of marketing, which is their pull, and then they provide incentive to the distribution channel, which is their push. The major logistic functions are getting the purchase orders and processing them and shipping, storing the product and organizing the inventory, and then moving the products from point A to point Z in the most efficient way, and also the cost associated with all of these logistics and moving the product. So the best way to move the product it depends on what type of product that you're moving. So some products are very bulky, very heavy. Some products are dangerous. Some products are fragile. Some products are worth a lot of money and therefore requires more safety. And some products are specifically regulated on how they can transport. On all of this has to be taken into account as well, the destination and the timeline that you have. If you have more time, you have less time, and also the requirement in terms of, does it need to go in multiple places at once, or does it go at just one place? So all of this as consideration, and the rail, the truck, water, and pipeline, and air are the 5 most common methods. So again, where do you send it? Is there the destination that is covered by all the transportation methods, and maybe not? So you pick the one that are available. The time that needs to happen, the fact that you want to make sure that you meet deadlines, because there may be contractual requirements that if you don't deliver by that date, there's a fee that you have to pay or some kind of discount that you have to offer. The fact that there's different costs associated with the different means of transportation, and the fact that these transportation may be more specific to one product and not to another. When you talk about distribution, you talk about the fact that there's a bargaining power between the distributor and the manufacturer. Essentially, there's one that has more power than the other. And for the most part, it has been the distributors becoming more and more powerful. One of the reasons that the distributors become more and more powerful is they are interacting more directly with the customers. That's why manufacturers are trying to sell directly to the customers in order to increase their relationship. And so if you think about it, every manufacturer that sells B2C, business to consumer, is also doing it B2B, selling it to the distributors. And so you, as a manufacturer, you have to be a B2B and a B2C. As a distributor, you may be more of a B2C than a B2B. And so you have more hats to wear when you're a manufacturer, and also you're selling depending on the distributor. So there's some kind of dependency that you have with the distributors. So the manufacturer are trying to go direct to the customers, and the distributor are trying to create their own brand. That way they can keep having this relationship with the customers. The quality is what differentiates the manufacturer, because they have the control of the quality that they sell, and they know what's real and fake quality. And so the distributors don't have this control because they're just selling what's available. The manufacturer has a reputation, they're contributing to the profit of the distributor. They have certain customers that follow them and are very loyal. Again, for the distributors, they have some of these characteristics: the loyal customers, the fact that they buy a lot from the manufacturer, and the manufacturer may be in a situation where the direct relationship that they have is mostly with distributors, and with 5-6 distributors, they are selling hundreds of thousands of products. So those distributors very fast become very important. They depend on them in order to survive. And the distributor biggest difference is the fact that they control the location where they are, which may have some bargaining power again over the manufacturer, because the manufacturer may be selling a product that is more sold in certain areas or certain time, which are more controlled by certain distributors.